Bitcoin and Litecoin update. Are you ready for this parabolic run to continue? What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. I hope everybody is having a fabulous Monday, and I hope you had a great weekend. We're going to take a look at the charts. We're going to do it a little different today. We're going to start out in the smaller time frame and then move up to the bigger macro time frame. So definitely stick around. You don't want to miss it. We have some new targets we're going to look at. Also, just a friendly reminder, we have a 100% free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. It's the best community in crypto, bar none. If you love crypto, you'll love the community. There's also some affiliate links down there that really help the channel out, guys, and help keep this content free. Use it if you can. Check out the links. Let's get into the video, see what's going on. All right, guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market is extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind, it is still a speculative market. Do not put in more than you're willing to lose. And with that being said, if you're new here or you haven't already, definitely hit the subscribe button. We do daily updates every single day, and if you tick the notification bell, that'll get you notified when I post new videos. Also, guys, take a second out, smash the likes, leave your comments, let me know what you think, and let's get into it. Oh yeah, one more thing before I begin. We are having a meetup in Cleveland, Ohio. It is on October 10th at the Thirsty Dog in Cleveland. The speakers there will be Max Kaiser, Peter McCormick, Stacy Herbert, Crypto Zombie, and myself. Definitely, if you guys can, check it out. And yeah, let's see what's going on here. So we've been looking at this blue bull flag. This being, the bottom line being the support, top line being the resistance. We broke through, came back down, and we're getting support on top of the bull flag. Now, the measured move of the bull flag is the $11,100 range. Now, we got to remember, we've been looking at this other stuff too, but let's take a look at where we're at now. We talked about this last night on the live stream and in yesterday morning's video. Looking at this as a symmetrical triangle, if we were to break up the measured move off that, is 10,750 range, which would be the top of this bull flag. The big bull flag that we'll be looking at in the macro here in a minute. Also, if we were to break down here, I think it would be very quickly. It would be a quick bear trap, in my opinion, that we would come down and get instant support down here and back up. In my opinion, guys, I believe that's what happens if we break down out of this triangle, which we are testing right now. So the other... You guys, look here. I have this resistance line, and we're looking at this for the last few days, actually last week, as a possible inverse head and shoulders with the neckline right up here at the 10,930 range. And a break of that, the measured move would get us to, you measure that by measuring the head, and then put it up to the neckline where you break out. That gets us to about the 12.5 range. And if you notice, that gets us out of this huge bull flag that we've been in, that people have been calling a triangle. I do believe it's a bull flag. We'll take a look at the higher targets here in a minute. But also keep in mind, guys, this is a crazy market. It is definitely possible. I could be wrong, and, you know, we go all the way down to the bottom of the bull flag again, which is highly, highly, highly unlikely. But if it did, anywhere in this green area here is accumulation to me, guys. I have no fear in here. I know a lot of people do. A lot of people are calling for more down. I don't think it's going to happen. And if it does happen, I think it's going to be so fast, it's not even going to matter. Let's look at the RSI in the 4-hour. See what we've been looking at. We've been watching this falling broadening wedge here, and we broke out of it right over here. Let me zoom in so you can see it. Right over here. Came back down, tested for support. I do believe we continue up from here. If we do get that quick wick down, we may get another test of the top of this, but it's pretty unlikely right now. Look at the daily RSI. We've been watching this as a falling wedge, and we broke out of it here, came back down, tested for support, got support, and bounced up from there. Now what I'm seeing here, guys, is a inverse head and shoulders on the daily RSI. I do believe we most likely continue up, and I do believe this week is going to be epic. It is going to be the week of the bulls. I really truly believe that. I believe we're going to probably most likely break the bull flag this week. Now let's go into the daily price action and take a look at what's going on. All right, so the bull flag we've been watching here, as you can see, our volume has been consistently declining. We are definitely ready for a breakout here, guys, and I am pretty damn confident that the breakout is going to be up, and I've been saying that for a long time. This is the one channel I have not changed my view on this market since I started making videos when I called the bottom in December. So all right, let's look at the more longer term targets. So we measure this bull flag as just a channel measurement and measure to where we would break out. 14,750 range is my target off that one. And again, guys, these can change depending on where we break out of these formations. The next measured move would be a measured move off of this as a shorter flagpole and bring that measured move up to here. I do believe these areas are where we will get resistance on the way up, but that one's about 7,200 range. And then we have the bigger target right here, measuring this whole thing as a flagpole and bring it up to where we would break out. And that gets us up to around the $20,000 range. And then as you can see, I have this white trend line drawn in here for resistance. If we were to hit that around the November area, that would get us right around November, and we still have room for a move up, and I will show you that in the weekly. And we'll take a look at the weekly RSI too, and what I've been talking about for weeks now. So as you can see in the daily RSI, or the weekly RSI, I'm sorry, we have this falling wedge in here, which we have closed outside of this past week, yesterday. I do believe this week is going to be a parabolic, well, I take that back, not parabolic, but it is going to be a huge breakout week. This is going to be the week. Now, if this was to curl over and come back down, my mindset might change on that, but until then, I'm still extremely bullish here. I do think it's time to break this bull flag. We have been in here in consolidation for a long time, and you can see it here too in the weekly volume declining just like the daily. And I'm going to show you why I do believe we could hit 46,000 by the end of the year. We'll take a look at this first. This is the cycle that I believe we're in. If you look here back in 2011, I have that marked as 1, and I have 2017 marked as 1, and you can see when it double bottomed here in 11 and came up for the big run, we had a double bottom here in 2018, and I do believe we are right in this number 2 part of the cycle here. This is where I believe we get to 46,000. I do believe 200 to 250,000 is possible for 2020, 2021, possibly $1 million, guys. Now this is just pure assumption and just speculation right now, but if this plays out the way I think this is very possible. Let's go back to the weekly and I'll show you why. Well, one more thing. As you can see, this parabolic run here, guys, is people are comparing this that we're in now to the prior bear market. I do not believe that's possible, guys. I'll show you what I do think is going on here. So if we look back in 2017, same thing. We had this bull flag here. In September, we broke out of the bull flag, and it was a 96% move. If we were to break out of this bull flag, it is September. If we break out of this bull flag, it would only take an 85% move to get us to the $20,500 range. And as you can see, from September to November, we had that was a 96% rise. That went from 3,000 to about 8,000. And then when this broke, we got another, from November to December, 146% gain. So if we were to do the same thing over here, pull this down a little bit, we're to do the same thing over here, a 124% gain would get us to the 46,000. If we were to get to the 20,000 by November, December, if we did a 124% move, we would get to 46,000. We did a 146% move from November to December in 2017. So that's how I believe we could get to 46,000 by the end of the year. Also, I have this gold and Bitcoin comparison. This is Bitcoin on the daily. This is gold on the weekly. A pattern is a pattern, guys, and you can see how that plays out. Check my prior videos back, and I go more into depth on this. I'm trying to keep this video short, so all right, let's look at Litecoin in the 4 hour. Don't forget to smash the likes, guys. Leave your comments. So in the 4 hour, we are looking at, let's look at our targets here. First target I got here is looking at this as a bull flag right here. This being the flag pull. The measured move of the flag pull would be from where it broke out right here. That gets us up to about the $73 range. That's my next target, which would line up with the 200 EMA. We could possibly come back down and retest the top of this trend line before moving up. I do have the 65, actually, let's put it over here. 65.17 range, guys. It is still possible to come down here. If that does break, then we would look at our lower targets here. But until then, I'm not worried about it because I don't think that's going to happen. Now let's look at our next target. Next target would be the measured move of, see this orange line here would be the resistance line. Bottom line being the support of the channel. The breakout of the channel, the measured move is around $81. My next one, if you look at the top of this blue line being the resistance, orange line being support, it is a falling broadening wedge. And if we did a measured move off of that to where it broke out, as you can see, we are trying to break out of that now. We have pierced through it, and I have that drawn from these peaks here, these 3 wicks. Like I said, we have pierced through it, so it's highly likely that we continue up from here. We may break up, come back down, test the blue line also before continuing up, but the measured move off of that as a falling broadening wedge would be measuring from the top resistance, bottom support, bring that line up to where we break out, and that gets us up to the 92.5 or 92.15 range, which would also line up with this old support become new resistance. So that's what I'm looking at there. Then we have one more bigger, higher target, and we could look at this in the daily too, but looking at this, the yellow lines as a falling broadening wedge, and the breakout of that, the measured move would be around the $170 range. Now let's look at the RSI. So in the RSI, excuse me, we've been watching this falling channel that we've remained in. We've had 2 peaks out of it right here. And now I'm looking at this as a possible ascending triangle. Looking for one more touch up here and maybe the breakout. Keep an eye on that. We'll look at the daily chart or daily RSI. And we've been talking about this for quite a while too. This rising channel, we fell out of it in a rising channel or a falling channel. Then we were looking at this as a falling broadening wedge. We have broken out of that. And I do believe we're most likely going to break out of this falling channel here, which is going to be extremely bullish, guys. Let's go into the price action and look at that. And like I said, the break of this would match up with the break of this falling broadening wedge, the bigger one, target being 170. But I do want to look at what else we've been looking at for quite some time, is this being a cup and a handle, the neckline being at 146 where we peaked out back here. Measure the cup, put it over to where we would possibly break out. That gets us up to the $270 range. Now I want to go into the weekly real quick. And looking at the weekly, just like in Bitcoin, I believe we could have all-time new highs this year. I want to point out that all 2017 right here in September, people were screaming Litecoin is dead. Same thing now. People are screaming Litecoin is dead. Back in 2017, that was a 65% drop. This was a 57% drop. And now if we look at from this it took all the way to November to come back up to this range here where it peaked out, which was $100 range. And then from November to December, we did a 328% gain from November to December. If we were to do that again this year, if we only did a 300% gain, that would get us to 581. Just to show you guys kind of in perspective what we're looking at here. Also, we have been making hidden bullish divergence right here, which is lower lows in the RSI, higher lows in the price action. And Bitcoin, we're doing the same thing on the weekly, and that's what creates that falling wedge that I've been talking about. Lower lows in the RSI, higher lows in the price action. So anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, definitely click the Crypto Savvy logo above my head. That'll get you subscribed to the channel to keep you updated every single day with a new video. Also, tick the notification bell. That'll get you notified when I post new videos and when I go live. Smash those likes, leave your comments. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Have a beautiful day, and I'm out.